With over 30 million units sold, the Easy Bake Oven is one of the most iconic American toys of the 20th century. The miniature appliances have influenced countless future cooks, chefs, and bakers by letting kids bake just about every kind of cookie, cupcake, and brownie imaginable for the past 60 years. And they're safe. Kind of. Today, we're cooking up the history of the Easy Bake Oven. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. And let us know in the comments below what other kid-friendly creations you would like to hear about. All right, easy does it. Way back in 1946, brothers Albert, Philip, and Joseph Steiner created Kenner Products, named after the Cincinnati street on which their business was founded. Among their first products was the Bubble-matic gun, a pistol that shot bubbles instead of lead. It was less effective for law enforcement, but made an ideal toy for children. The Bubble-matic gun was so successful that the company soon launched a whole Bubble-matic lineup, culminating in their Bub-L rocket, which by 1949 had sold over 1 million units. In the 1950s, they grew their product line to include girder and panel building sets, along with the Give a Show projector, a sort of at-home movie experience, where kids could see their favorite characters come to life, one 35mm panel at a time. But what set Kenner apart from other toy makers wasn't their building sets or their projectors, or even their snoot flutes. They had become among the first brands in America to market their merchandise on television, with ads featuring a kid-friendly mascot, the Goonie Bird, and the cheeky tagline, "It's Kenner! It's fun!" The stage was set. With their mascot, their motto, and their ability to broadcast, all that stood between Kenner and mountains of cash was one runaway success. And in the early 60s, the company found just the thing. According to legend, Kenner would regularly hold meetings where any employee could pitch a new idea, because the belief was the good ideas can come from anywhere. During one of these meetings, either salesman Norman Shapiro or designer Ronald Howes, depending on who you ask, mentioned their love of New York City street vendors, particularly those who sold fresh-baked pretzels. And this mystery man, either a Ronald or a Norman, suggested they replicate the pretzel-making experience for kids at home. Apparently, Kenner saw so much potential in the idea that they expanded it to encompass all baked goods, and their team was soon hard at work, bringing the idea to life. When all was said and done, James O. Jeep Kuhn was credited as the creative engineer behind the original Easy Bake Oven, which launched in November of 1963, just in time for the holidays. Heck yeah, Jeep! Its first iteration featured two internal 100-watt incandescent light bulbs, one that cooked the food from above and another that cooked from beneath. And it was available in two distinct colors, the elegant turquoise and the more feisty yellow, for whichever type of home your child was keeping. It likewise came with some basic cooking supplies, like a miniature spatula, a rolling pin, and a bright red mixing bowl. Despite its hefty price tag, it cost parents $15.95, which is about $160 in today's money. Kenner sold over 500,000 Easy Bake Ovens in the product's first year on the market. Before long, Easy Bake Oven became a household name. In 1964, riding high off the previous year's Easy Baked success, Kenner decided to triple the production of their newfound product. Moreover, they came out with the Easy Bake Oven's first ever accessory, the Easy Pop Corn Popper attachment, which could pop an entire bowl's worth of popcorn in 4 minutes flat. That's actually not bad. And it is extra not bad considering the first countertop microwave wouldn't be introduced for another 3 years. By 1966, over 1 million Easy Bake Ovens had been sold. By 1967, that number climbed to over 2 million. That's a lot of lukewarm cookies. In 1968, Kenner hit up puppeteer Jim Henson to update the Goonie Bird's image. And this all-new version of their mascot soon showed up in Easy Bake Oven commercials.
It's Kenner! It's fun!
Goonie Bird then became so popular that he landed himself a spot on Sesame Street's first season, revamped and renamed to become Big Bird's tiny counterpart, Little Bird.
A big bird and a little bird. We're going to be friends for a long, long time.
On Sesame Street, it's all about who you know. General Mills took notice of Kenner's ongoing success and bought up the toy maker that same year. Shortly thereafter, Kenner, now functioning as a subsidiary of General Mills, introduced Betty Crocker-branded Easy Bake Mixes, giving kids the opportunity to build brand loyalty before they can even ride a bike. The pairing proved so successful that in 1969, Kenner released an entire Betty Crocker-inspired lineup of Easy Bake ovens. While they functioned the same as the original models, these babies included an all-new avocado green color with luxurious faux wood paneling, the same model Elaine had on Seinfeld.
You know, that batter is like 30 years old.
Kenner soon found an appetite for creating new Easy Bake models, and they jumped on the opportunity to release model after model of new and improved ovens year after year. In 1970, they created the Harvest Gold Super Easy Bake Oven, which had its own storage cabinet, a functional 20-minute timer, and pans that were double the size of its predecessor. A kid could open a food truck with one of these. Then, in 1971, they released the contemporary Easy Bake Oven, which gave the toy a floral redesign and was powered by a single 60-watt bulb instead of two 100-watt bulbs. 1971 also saw the release of the 3-minute Cake Baker, which was a simplified version of the toy, meant for younger children than their main line of products. It's never too soon to learn how to cake. 2 years later, they then tried to reach that younger demographic again with the Warm Bake Oven, a light bulb-free alternative to the Easy Bake that replaced electricity with parental labor. You had to fill the Warm Bake's reservoir with hot water in order to cook anything. And who doesn't love tiny cakes baked in water-heated plastic? Kenner continued to regularly update its hit product over the next few decades, with innovations like the Mini Wave Oven and the Dual Temp Oven, selling over 11 million units by the 1980s. In 1985, General Mills would spin Kenner off with Parker Brothers to become the independent Kenner-Parker Toys. Kenner-Parker Toys only lasted 2 years on its own, though, before being bought up by Tonka in 1987, and then bought again by its present-day owner, Hasbro, in 1991. Under Hasbro's ownership, the Easy Bake Oven got a complete overhaul, turning it into the Easy Bake Oven and Snack Center. This new iteration looked more like a microwave than a traditional range oven, and it became the dominant version of the toy for the decade that followed. By 1998, Hasbro had partnered up with just about every major food brand in America. Gone were the days of Betty Crocker's exclusivity. There were suddenly Easy Bake Mixes that featured Oreos, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, M&M's, Pop-Tarts, and Kellogg's. It was at this same time that Hasbro held the first ever Easy Bake Oven Baker of the Year contest at the 95th American International Toy Fair. That first year, Little Rock, Arkansas's Lindsay Thompson took home the Baker of the Year title, landing her a $5,000 savings bond for her outstanding toffee trifle cake recipe. The Easy Bake brand continued on trucking into the new millennium, selling just shy of 20 million units by the year 2000, and landing itself its very own Mad TV sketch.
Isn't there a child's toy oven that doesn't utilize dangerous light bulbs as its method of confection?
Tragically, Hasbro absorbed many of Kenner's products into its existing lineup of toys around that time and killed off the Kenner brand for good. May Kenner and its seemingly endless lineup of Star Wars classics rest in peace. In 2002, in an attempt to compete with Toy Max's Creepy Crawlers and to lure some boys into the Easy Bake customer base, Hasbro released the one and only Queasy Bake Cookerator. The Queasy Bake wasn't for any girly desserts. Instead, kids could whip themselves up some delicious dirt for the ever-alluring chocolate crud cake. Hasbro then also came out with the accompanying Queasy Bake Mixerator, providing some drink options for the refined Queasy Bake palate. In 2003, Hasbro introduced the Easy Bake Real Meal Oven, their first ever oven to stray away from desserts and to instead advertise itself as an all-in-one 3-course meal maker, featuring recipes from the likes of Mark Bittman, Rick Bayless, and Bobby Flay. Kids love a Bobby Flay endorsement. Just 3 years later, the Easy Bake Oven was inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame, cementing its place alongside such American classics as the Metal Slinky, the Rocking Horse, and the Jump Rope. For a time, the Easy Bake Oven seemed on top of the world, but Unbeknownst to Hasbro, trouble was brewing with their 2006 Easy Bake Classic Oven, the first of the Easy Bake lineup to forego light bulbs altogether and instead use a more contemporary heating element. Apparently, kids were getting their fingers stuck in its front-loading door.
I was so scared.
What's more, there were 16 separate reports of children receiving second and third-degree burns from the classic oven, culminating in a 5-year-old child having a portion of their finger amputated. So, in early 2007, Hasbro recalled all 985,000 Easy Bake Classic ovens, offering customers both a full refund for the product and a $32 voucher to put towards another Hasbro purchase. In 2008, Hasbro then brought back what was essentially an older model of the Easy Bake Oven, once more returning to the old light bulb design. It was a temporary fix, though, as there was another obstacle on the horizon. The Energy Independence and Security Act of 2007 dictated that all light bulbs in America had to become more energy efficient by 2012. This meant that the hot bulbs the Easy Bake Oven had historically relied upon would no longer be available. They'd have to cook up an all-new oven fast if they wanted to stay in the game.
New Easy Bake. New Easy Bake. Yeah, it's the ultimate. All new, can't believe my eyes.
In 2011, Hasbro once again ditched the light bulb design and replaced it with heating elements, releasing the Easy Bake Ultimate Oven, which remains the primary Easy Bake model to this day. This new model initially only came out in purple and pink. But after 13-year-old McKenna Pope began an online petition asking for Hasbro to release gender-neutral colors of the toy,
That was my little brother, my favorite chef in the world. Sign this petition and join me in my fight to create gender equality.
and the petition accumulated 45,000 signatures, including those of prominent chefs like Jeff Mahan and Manuel Trevino, the first ever black and silver Easy Bake Oven was served. By 2013, as the Easy Bake Oven celebrated its 50th anniversary, Hasbro announced that over 30 million Easy Bake Ovens had been sold over the brand's lifespan, along with over 150 million mix refills. That's a lot of tea parties with the Cabbage Patch Kids. In 2017, the National Easy Bake Oven Day was founded by toy historian Todd Coopy, giving Easy Bake enthusiasts time to celebrate their favorite toy every November 4th. More recently, Hasbro collaborated with Netflix to make Easy Bake Battle, a show hosted by Queer Eyes and Tony Podolsky, wherein contestants compete to make delicious dishes for cash prizes. The show features a lineup of souped-up Easy Bake Ovens and encourages its participants to make easy, fast meals. Today, the contemporary Easy Bake Ultimate Oven goes for about $40, depending on where you shop and whether you can outrun the loss prevention specialist. The current lineup of refill mixes include Bake Shop Sprinkle Donuts, Red Velvet and Strawberry Cakes, Cheese Pizza, and, most importantly, Party Pretzel Dippers, finally bringing New York City street vendor food directly to kids at home, just like Ron wanted. Or was it Norm? So what do you think? Did you ever have an Easy Bake Oven? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, check out some of these other weird history food videos.